Okay, Melanie, I'm going to show you some of the ways that I edit photos. So I'm in the grid mode, which is the library. So I'm going to switch to develop. I've already imported my photos. This one looks a little bit, I don't know, milky. So the first thing I can do is I can try the auto. And you see that does quite a bit. Uh, Another thing you can do is play with the highlight slider here, bring down some of that. But I think it looks pretty good like that. You can also pop up the clarity and see that sharpens it a little bit. But I think the auto pretty much did it. Looks good like that, so I'm going to stick with that. Then there's also something, we'll scroll down here to the lens correction. Click on basic, enable profile corrections, constrain crop, and click on auto. Okay, that did not work, so we're going to click on off. We'll come back to that in another photo. So let's go to the next photo. And that looks pretty good. This one, let's try the auto correction there. See what happens. Not very much. But I think it needs some correction, so I'm going to go over to the manual. What I'm trying to do is square up these lines here, because it looks a little distorted to me. So if you'll notice, when you come over here to the lens correction area, it will add a grid to your picture. There's little white lines, and that's how you can tell whether your picture is vertical or not. So I'm going to look right in here, and try to determine if in fact, I think I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Maybe that's too far. Might be too far. You can see right in here it's a little crooked. I'm going to just move it just a little bit. It would be better if I put it. And just straightens it up just a little bit. And I think that looks better. So you can turn off your effects here. Oh, that's not working. But let's just, you can see that's just a little bit. And I think that looks a little better. So I'm going to leave it there. And go to the next image. I'm going to try my basic again, because a lot of times that just does exactly what you need. I don't think I like that. I'm going to undo it. To me, it looks like I might need to just rotate it, maybe not. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to do the vertical just a little bit. Not like that. Okay. That one's done. There's really not much to do to these photos. They look pretty good. Go to the next one. Looks fine. Next one. I might straighten that one.
Oh my God.
And this picture, I don't think I need. I'll come back to these. There's something else I have to do to them. Okay, that one's fine. Now this one looks like it could use some auto tone. Let's see what happens. Okay, when this auto tone, it makes it a little too yellow. So I'm going to try the auto color here. And that makes it a little too flat. So I'm going to undo the auto color. And I'm just going to manually drag the yellow back just a little bit. Right about there, I think. And I'm going to drag the highlight back a little bit. And the vibrance. Maybe the black little. And drag the shadows in. Just don't like it to look too cartoonish. And let me try full, see what happens. Auto, either way, it's about the same. Okay. And this one, I don't like to have a lot of street here. So when you're using the crop tool, you can either stick with the original or you can unlock it. And right now I'm going to leave it on lock so that when I use the crop tool, it will maintain the same ratio. Then I'm just going to slide it over to get the rest of the property, because this property is right here. A lot of times the agents do not like to see another property next door, like this one over here. So I've cropped out the street, and I've cropped out the property next door, and I've clicked done. And there's my nice exterior. I might put a little bit more shadow in, maybe right there. What do you think? Alright, that was done. I go to the next one. And I don't even like that, so I'm just going to remove it. I'm clicking the delete key, which you can't see, but I'm going to delete that. I don't need it. I've got a good exterior. Let's see. That looks good. I don't think I really going to remove this. Okay, so I've got this and this. I might go ahead here and just kind of do the same thing here, just a little bit of adjustment, and then crop it. Now, since I already have a front exterior that I can use, this one over here, I'm actually going to unlock it and do it a little bit differently. And just cut out some of the sides here, like this. So I have more of a pano. So I've got more of the yard in this time. So I have this one that I use for the front exterior, and this one for the pano. Okay, here I just have a closer up shot. I'm going to use the auto. Take out some yellow. Not that much. About that. Not like that. Okay, this time I'm going to try the auto. Just try to pull. No. Over. Beautiful. It's not looking exactly what I want. I guess it looks straight. I don't know, it's probably because these beds. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try a little of my own. You just play around with these until it looks like you want. Like that. Make it look better. Okay, I'm done with that. And that looks fine. I think I'll just give it another tone. Polytone almost always is too yellow on my computer anyway. That looks pretty good. That's okay, I'll leave it there. Okay. And I have shot this. Oh, I'm do a little panel here. So right here I have the shadow of the chandelier that I want to get rid of. And I have a dark space back up here in this one, and back in here, and here, that I want to brighten up. So I just highlight these two rooms right here, right click, choose Edit in Photoshop. Edit in Photoshop Layers, rather. This one, we don't want this one. These were already open, so ignore that. And it's going to open here, and right now it's creating the layers. And there are my two layers. Right there. Let me go ahead and get rid of these other photos that I'm not using right now. Okay. And so to look at the layer underneath, you just go to this little eyeball. You can turn it off, and there's my lower layer. Back and forth. Okay, so what I want to do is make sure that I have highlighted the top layer. Come down here to the Japanese flag, which is my mask, and click it so it's created a mask here. So I make sure that the mask is highlighted. Go over to my paintbrush. Make sure it is on a feathered hardness. And with a low opacity, this one's on 24, and it's on black ink. And just start painting in that ceiling. And painting in that door right there. Let's see if there's anything else I want. Now, that ceiling looks really dark. So I don't really like that. So what I'm going to do now is go back to the bottom layer, which is too dark for the ceiling that I want to replace. And I'm going to highlight it, go up here, and add a curve. Just like this. So what I'm doing here is I'm lightening just the bottom layer. So if you watch this area where you have painted in the mask, you take this slider right down here at the bottom and just slide it over, and you'll watch that ceiling light up. Just like that. And you just slide it over until it gets about where you want it to be. Like that. Doesn't have to be too light, just not dark. Okay. Now, if you didn't want you can turn it off and on like this. And you see, maybe you don't want this part of the picture to get lighted. Like that. So what you can do is go to your mask and paint out that area. So that doesn't light me. Because that's where you painted in the room. So there you go. You have painted out your chandelier shadow. You've lightened up these areas here. And that's all you need to do. So you just flatten here, the way I flatten it is I right click the bottom layer. And that's done. And then you close. Save changes, yes. And then you go back to Lightroom. And Lightroom has created your new image at the end of the film strip. And it recalls it. There it is right there. So it's got the original file name with the extension of Edit PSD, which is Photoshop document or something like that. So it's got a little bit of curve here, which I really do not like that curve. So I'm going to go in here to my distortion and add a -12. Where'd it go? -12. That is incorrect. Let's see, what am I doing? Oh, not -12, +12. And make sure you choose constraint crop. And that takes care of that distortion. And then you go, that picture is done. So then I'll go back to the beginning, find those pictures that I was using to make these changes, and I remove them from my Lightroom catalog so that they will not be, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I can Control Z to get them back because I actually was doing a shortcut. But at any rate, that's how you make a mask when you have two different colors, like when the background is too dark. Where am I? That's how you correct a mask when the mask is too dark, like it is here. That's the ceiling is too dark, so we created a mask and put a curve on the mask to fix it. And that is what I'm going to show you today. So I'll show you another thing another time or tomorrow. Hope that helped. Bye.